Welcome to Central Park, Wigan, for today's match in the second round of the Silk Cut Challenge Cup. Wigan against Dewsbury. And Dewsbury, of course, had a tremendous draw early in the season against St Helens, and they're coached by former Wigan boss Maurice Bamford. Wigan, I'm sure, will not underrate this Dewsbury side, and they will want to try to get to Wembley for the third year in succession. The Wigan team have still got Steve Hampson serving one more match of his 10-match ban, so Jed Byrne is there at fullback. And on the wing, David Marshall, he's in with Mark Preston still injured. Preston hoping to be back, of course, next week. And on the bench there, two internationals coming back from injury, Joe Lydon and Andy Gregory. The Dewsbury team has got a lot of homegrown players in it, and there at number 6, Paul Shuttleworth, one of the organisers of their play, former Salford player. David Campbell blows his whistle and gets this second round game going. Chris Wilkinson, the loose forward, kicking off. Bobby Goulding linking straight away with Ian Gildart, ever present at the back there. Ian Gildart, one of the really hard-working members of this Wigan pack. Bit of a poor play of the ball though, and that's pushed Wigan backwards. Dewsbury certainly early on will want to try and put as much pressure on this Wigan side. There'll be a lot of work right there. Maurice Bamford will have stressed to his players that nothing but 100% effort will do today. Kick from Sean Edwards. That's testing, it's hanging. Picked up by Richard Elsey, but Kevin Iro and Elroy Hanley, what a handful that. Scrum half Willie Johnson trying to get the big forwards going. Mark Burgess, the number 8. And again, it looks as if Chris Wilkinson's going to be one of the suppliers of the ball, one of the feeders, one of the organisers. There is the kick from the loose forward. Jed Byrne picks it up safely at the back, runs cross field, straightens up, tries to go through the gap, but good tackle there from Tim Butler, the second row forward. Andy Goodway driving forward. The dummy from Martin Dermott, the link forward. Andy Platt taking the tackle from his opposite number, Gary Cox. The dummy again from Dermott. Inside ball this time to Dennis Betts, but a little bit slippery on top here at Central Park. Dennis Betts not quite able to find his footing. Edwards again resorting the kick. This time a change of direction, pushing it over to the right wing. Andy Bloor, look pacey. But that's a good tackle from the young scrum half, Bobby Goulding. Bobby Goulding, of course, inspirational in the side. That marvellous try that he set up against Leeds, which won the replay. And then the last minute penalty, which won the game against Widnes. That's the knock-on. That's David Campbell in charge. He's telling the front rows exactly what he wants from them. So a big lecture from Mr. Campbell. Goulding feeds, but that's been kicked back. It was certainly struck by Wigan, but it was kicked back into the Dewsbury scrum. So Dewsbury in possession once more. Lucas with the tackle on the loose forward. Knowing Maurice Bamford, the Dewsbury side will certainly be well organised. They'll have plenty of set plays. There's one of them, an inside ball and a release in the tackle. That's good play, good support play there. Gary Cox getting rid of that ball in the tackle. A good support coming from Glenn Coughlin. The run around wide out. The Goulding doesn't buy the dummy. Good tackling from the scrum half. Wilkinson again, that's charged down by Martin Dermott. Could be a chance as Lucas picks up the loose ball. Links again with Andy Platt. Andy Platt juggles and drives through. Wigan on attack just outside the Dewsbury 22. Edwards trying to prompt that side. Goodway decides to change direction, drifts across field. So as Sean Edwards now calls out the orders for the set move, it's Edwards drifting across from left to right. Ellery Hanley rides the tackle. Linking across, Betts on the burst, 15 metres short of the Dewsbury line. Wigan building up the pressure. but a rather delayed play of the ball. Again, the half-backs linking. This time the kick from Edwards, but that was a poor effort and didn't find the gap that Sean Edwards wanted. So in possession once more, Dewsbury inside their own 22. And after playing on what was a very heavy pitch at Hull Kingston Rovers, coming back here to Central Park, although it's a little bit slippery on top, it's a lot firmer. So wide play, and Hanley very quickly up on his opposite number, Patrick Howley, and he certainly felt the effects of that tackle. So the work rate quite high on both sides at the moment, as you'd expect in the opening 5 minutes. And Wilkinson kicking downfield into what is quite a strong wind. Jed Byrne collects safely, but sidestepping off that left foot, and just shows the surface is a bit difficult. And again, Dewsbury won possession at the play the ball, so a little bit of a lack of concentration in the play the ball situation there has cost Wigan dearly on 2 occasions now. Tim Butler plays the ball, and Willie Johnson tries to get his forwards going. Johnson distributing once again. Shuttleworth, the number 6, coming into the action and trying to pierce this Wigan defence with the run around and the wide pass. But it's Wilkinson once again. His kick charged down, everybody on side. Edwards juggles, picks it up. He can't get past Johnson. Good tackle from the scrum half. The dummy from Bell as Byrne takes it on the left hand side. So the wide ball to Gildart behind the back of Ian Lucas. Again a variation, a change in the tactics. The wide ball, Edwards drifting across, gets almost past the number 10 Bell. His first real touch of the ball, but a good tackle from Nathan Graham. And back to Edwards once more for the kick. And Darren Cohen drifting crossfield, straightening up, but only running straight into Andy Platt. Dewsbury drifting across field, an easy prey there for Dennis Betts. So a reasonable crowd here at Central Park today, but perhaps not as big as you would have thought. Conditions certainly quite difficult, but that's a knock-on. That's gone forward, says David Campbell. So another scrum and another chance for Wigan to build up a set move. David Campbell not too happy about the scrimmaging. He's had a lecture at the first one and now the second one. That ball won well. There's a chance, but Edwards was dummying to Marshall and then hanging on and caught in 2 minds. The ball pops out of his hand. Dewsbury possession once more. And that set move worked for the Mark Preston try at Hull. It's worked on a few occasions. The number 6 just drifting from right to left behind the back of the scrum. But that time it failed, and Dewsbury come up with possession. But Dewsbury have had most of the possession, and they're playing into quite a strong wind in this first half, but not able to really penetrate against this Wigan defence. Pressure on Shuttleworth by Dennis Betts, but that's a good low kick picked up by David Marshall coming in from that left wing. And again, a lack of concentration at the play the ball, possibly. There's certainly an alertness by the Dewsbury players. Jed Byrne pushes off 1 tackle, pushes off 2, but eventually gets caught by Glenn Coughlin, and what looked like a little slap across the face from Chris Wilkinson. Good way, bursting, almost getting through. Strong, aggressive, loose forward. Referee David Campbell getting in between the two. The dummy from Dermot, and then the link inside to Lucas. And Lucas, and perhaps a bit of a delaying tactic there, allowing Dewsbury to line up in defence. Edwards drifts across. Betts Doesn't quite find the gap. Dewsbury closed in well there. And certainly their defensive formation has been very sound so far. Edwards looking on that left-hand side. This time it's the high kick. That's a testing kick for Andy Bloor. It's a testing kick for all of them, in fact. But they've come out of it well, or have they not? No, it's kick clear. Desperate clearance there from Nathan Graham. But under all sorts of problems there, as that ball was hoisted by Shaun Edwards. So eventually they drop out from under the post, and that's a poor one from Wilkinson. Kevin Iro picking it up, his first real chance, and he's lost the ball. So the first opportunity for the New Zealander to get into the action, and he lost possession. Well, Dewsbury so far showing tremendous resilience. They're not undaunted by their task today. Work rate is high, and their organisation very good at the moment. Again, Wilkinson with that right foot, and that's a fine kick into the wind. Marshall comes back. Jed Byrne links with him. Marshall decides to go on his own and steps through the tackle, almost getting away from Andy Bloor. Byrne again, taking it away, taking the pressure off his forwards. Dean Bell drifting across from the left-hand side to the right, coming off that Edwards pass. And struggling to get on his feet. Martin Dermott makes the break. Edwards is there. Great delivery to Edwards. Edwards looking for the people outside, but good defensive cover from Dewsbury. Again, the wide ball. There's a chance on that left-hand side, but Byrne comes in, the ball goes down, and that's going to be a scrum, and a chance to bring in Steve Hampson, watching the game. Steve, your last game out, if you like, after the suspension, but as far as this game is concerned, Dewsbury certainly defending well.
Yeah, Dewsbury doing a fantastic job on defence. We've not seen much of them in attack at this present moment, but like I say, the defence is very good at the moment.
Do you think that it's going to be a bit of a wearing down process, and then gradually as time goes on we're going to be able to penetrate?
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. They're going to come strong obviously for the first 20-25 minutes, but I think we're going to wear them out obviously with the defence, and hopefully they'll score a few tries after that.
Well, certainly Wigan fans will hope so, and it's Dewsbury in possession inside their own half, just 10 metres inside the halfway line. Good distribution on this left-hand side, but also good defence as Dennis Betts gets across with Kevin Iro. Wilkinson again with that kick. And that's high, that's hanging, that's a difficult one for Jed Byrne. Takes it well and sidesteps past his opposite number. Andy Goodway comes inside, pushes off one, pushes off two. Good tackle from Nathan Graham. Wigan on attack. Edwards takes it up. Shuttleworth comes in to make the tackle with Graham. Goulding in the action, linking with Ian Lucas, the big number 8, taken to the floor by Gary Cox. The dummy and the link with Andy Platt. Platt almost burst into what a great ball to Martin Dermott. Beautiful distribution to Bobby Goulding. Forward pass, says David Campbell. Bobby Goulding will have to come back. The scrum will be formed on the 22. Well, from that scrum, Dewsbury win possession, and it's Willie Johnson, the scrum half again, trying to get those forwards in motion. But that was certainly a fine piece of rugby from Wigan. Just that final pass, a shade forward. Goulding under the post. So Wigan have to start again. Shuttleworth trying to push it wide. And makes that incisive break off the left foot. Gildart equal to it though. Good tackle from the second row. Wilkinson again. One fine kick into the wind. And Marshall once more collecting and finding the gap, almost getting through, but has lost the ball, says David Campbell. So David Marshall and Wigan particularly not too happy about the number of occasions they've lost possession in this first quarter of an hour of play. Johnson wins the ball in the scrum, and Darren Cohen comes in from full back, but no gap there. And certainly defence is very much on top in most rugby league games we've seen so far this season. And the standard of fitness of the players, both First Division and Second Division, very much improved. Dewsbury move it wide. That's a strong run from Nathan Graham, but straight into Edwards and Goulding. Good tackling from the Wigan halfbacks. Shuttleworth with the kick through. Byrne comes across. Once again runs past Tim Butler. Dean Bell on the 22 with the run around with Dermot, sidestepping off that right foot, trying to break through. Dean Bell having a very good season for Wigan, very consistent defence, and there's another player who's had a very good season, Great Britain forward Andy Platt. Penalty to Wigan. David Campbell saying that the Dewsbury players lying on in the tackle, not allowing Andy Platt to play the ball. And certainly Andy Platt, one of the quickest of the forwards around these days in getting onto his feet and playing that ball quickly, and certainly on that occasion inhibited by those Dewsbury players. So Goulding finds the touch. Wigan have their first chance in the game to put a tap penalty on. Lucas with the drive. Good strong run, went through Gary Cox's tackle there. Gildart with Goulding, the run around and the burst from Goodway. The ball's gone down again. So certainly Wigan will want to try and retain more possession. Andy Goodway coming through there on the burst and wanting David Campbell wanting to have a word with Andrew Goodway. We're not quite sure exactly what it was, but everything seems to be quite amicable as the 12 forwards go down and Mr. Campbell gives his lecture at the scrummage. And that's been kicked back, so that's one each to both sides as Goulding makes the break on the short side. Goodway wanting to get on with it, links with Edwards. Edwards sidesteps inside, but there's an injury and the touch judge is on the field, so an incident there which happened off the ball, and referee has stopped the play. Not quite sure what is happening, but David Campbell seems to be in control. He's asking the players to move away and he's calling over the loose forward, I think, Wilkinson from Dewsbury. He's having a word with Chris Wilkinson. It's going to be a penalty, and it's a penalty for opening his mouth apparently, so he must have said something, I think, to the touch judge, because it was certainly the touch judge's intervention that resulted in that penalty. Bobby Goulding, the hero of that tremendous league win at Norton Park against Widnes, lines it up. He's kicked that one, he's kicked it through. It's 2 points, the first 2 points of the game after 18 minutes to Wigan through Bobby Goulding's penalty. 2-0. Chris Wilkinson, apparently the offender at the last incident, which resulted in that 2 points, gets the game going once more. Gildart, as ever, at the back, takes it up to the 22. Kevin Iro drifting across field, almost getting through, and certainly Glenn Coughlin was trying to match him for physical strength there, and I think Kevin Iro came very much on top. Edwards linking with Dennis Betts, an inside ball, but good cover from Dewsbury. They certainly are covering the gaps inside and outside. So Edwards decides to kick once more, and using that wind, that's pushed Darren Cohen back. The ball bouncing, but bouncing just too far. That's going to be a tap on the 22 for Dewsbury. As we reach halfway through this first half, just the 2 points separating the teams. And a good drive there from Martin Dermot and Andy Platt, pushing Dewsbury back inside the 22. With me, I've also got Mark Preston, who's injured recently, but Mark, not many of the wingers have really had much to do in terms of open play. It's just been really picking up kicks from the back.
That's right, yeah. At the moment, Dewsbury are playing very well. They're not having a lot of possession. We're going to have most of the possession, but their defence has been superb, and they're moving up in a line. And I think we really need to put a few more moves on. We haven't really had any set moves yet, and I think we need to put a few more moves on, and hopefully things will start to come off then.
Well, there was a kick to Kevin Iro, and Kevin certainly looking very dangerous when he gets the ball. Big, strong winger, of course.
That's right, yeah, and him and Dave are both strong lads, and when they get the ball, fielding kicks, they can be quite dangerous. And especially Kevin, if you give him a bit of space, then he becomes very difficult to tackle because he is so strong.
It must be frustrating at times, Mark, is it, stuck out on the wing there and not getting the ball and just having to wait for kicks from the opposition?
That's right, it can be very frustrating at times, and I think that's where John Money likes us to come in a bit more and maybe have a little dart from acting a half-back and what have you, just really to get involved with the game, because you can get quite cold out there.
Well, there is one player, Sean Edwards, the number 6, with that fine kick upfield. That's pushed Dewsbury back inside their own 22, but the odds are that it's going to be Dewsbury possession from this scrum. Willie Johnson will feed. In fact, it's come back on Wigan side again, and there's Iro. Is he into the corner? No, he's in touch. And that really is quite a sin. A winger, first possession, getting himself over the touchline.
Yeah, I don't think he had a lot of room there, really, and I think he was just trying to crash over the tackle, but it was, again, good defence from Dewsbury. They really are playing well.
Well, there, the battle of the two scrum halves, Bobby Goulding and Willie Johnson. And it's Dewsbury inside their own 22, just 5 metres from their own line. And of course Wigan would hope to put in a good tackling stint here now, keep Dewsbury close here, and then they'd have to kick downfield into that very strong wind. So a chance hopefully for Wigan to build up some more pressure. Dewsbury just 10 metres away from their own line, but good defence. We move up to the last tackle. Wilkinson's been doing most of the kicking, and there he is again, the loose forward in position. That's a good kick. It's going to go into the Wigan half. Byrne picks it up, dummies inside to Marshall, pushes off Bloor, links with Edwards. Edwards outside on that wing. A change of pace gets him past Gary Cox, but a good Dewsbury cover. So a bit of a venture there from Wigan. Good piece of play between Jed Byrne and Sean Edwards. Marshall takes it away, so Wigan now inside the 22. This will be the chance perhaps to put some set moves on, Mark?
Hopefully, yeah, they might well have called a move in a couple of plays' time. I think we've got to start calling the moves and hopefully put some points on the board.
Well, there's Goulding and there's the dummy and then the run around. That's wide out to Goodway, and that certainly was a set move, and it's worked several times this season. But Shuttleworth bringing off a good tackle. Dennis Betts picks it up well, linking outside. Lucas is there, Hanley's there, Iro's there. The ball is down though. The chance gone. The overlap created from the set move midfield, but things just not quite going right for Wigan at the moment, as that ball was lost on the right hand side when it seemed that the try line was open for Wigan. So Dewsbury back where they were just a moment ago, defending their own goal line, in possession. Well, that's lost ball, and that should be Wigan's. It is. Ian Gildart alert and quick to get on the ball. So the crowd a little bit frustrated perhaps, getting behind their Wigan teammate as the halfbacks link. But everything a little bit flat and the running a bit cross field. Certainly if they're going to break this Dewsbury defence, it's got to be through some incisive running, because that's the sort of defence they're going to meet. Good tackle on Dennis Betts. Goulding drifting across field, looking inside for Lucas. Good run from the number 8. 10 metres out. Dermot the dummy right, and Edwards linking. Platt taking that ball off the shoulder, coming from the blind side. Andy Platt wanted to get to his feet again on the last tackle. Goulding with a little chip through, but that's gone straight to Wilkinson. The loose forward picked that one up very well indeed. So the chance gone. Things just not quite going right, Mark, at the moment.
No, that's right. They're trying a few more moves, but nothing's coming off at the moment. But I think if we give it time and don't panic, there's a lot of the game left. I'm sure something will come off sooner or later.
Well, we've got to remember, of course, that this is a cup tie. It's the Challenge Cup. It's the dream of every rugby league player, I think, to get to Wembley. And certainly That dream, as far as Dewsbury is concerned, is something they would dearly love, and they're putting 100% into it. So it's not just perhaps that Wigan perhaps a little bit off the boil, but it's the fact that Dewsbury are playing so well. They're inside their own 22 and they're not really making much progress, but their work rate is high and the defence is strong. And in Wilkinson, the loose forward, he's kicked well under pressure. Jedburn picks it up. Change, an acceleration, a change of pace, and a drift away from Jedburn. Good play from the fullback. As Hanley gets in the action, certainly we've seen little of Ellery Hanley today. Dummy from Dermot, and then the inside ball. Gildart trying to offload once more. Goulding linking with Edwards again. Bell flings one out to Marshall, but Marshall has Bloor to beat. Bloor hangs on, and Nathan Graham comes across to assist. The ball's lost, been knocked out of his hand, I think. The referee has stopped the clock. There's going to be a substitution, and it's the number 8, Mark Burgess, who's coming off. Mark Burgess, who's had a good strong defensive game. Perhaps a tactic of Maurice Bamford's as he brings in Dennis Trembath, another big Dewsbury forward coming on the field, perhaps sharing the workload.
Yeah, I think he's doing what John Money usually does, giving one player a rest and a fresh pair of legs for the next 20 minutes, and maybe swapping over at half time again. It's a good idea.
And certainly John Money has said that if all goes well in the second half, both Joe Lydon and Andy Gregory will get a run out. So it'll be good to see the two players, international players, back in the limelight again.
Yes, it will, and hopefully both their injuries will withstand any tackles and whatever, and they'll come through the game with no blemishes.
Well, it's certainly Wigan's defence that has kept Dewsbury pinned down in their 22. Shuttleworth sidestepping off that left foot, showing good acceleration there, but the gap filled very well by Kevin Iro. Wilkinson moving it wide. But that's been lost. Has it gone forward? And who's got possession? No advantage, says David Campbell. That's going to be a scrum and a Wigan feed. So no talk this time, but again that's bounced out of the scrum. Bad possession at the scrimmage. It was certainly struck by Wigan, but it's been kicked back. So possession not quite as good as one would have thought from what is now an automatic possession, it would seem, from the scrum, with the scrum half being able to feed the hooker's feet. I'm sure John Money will want to encourage his charges in the second half to perhaps be more consistent in certain areas of play, and they will have a very strong wind to contend with. We're coming up to almost half an hour of play here now, and it's Dewsbury linking inside. A great ball again from Gary Cox, riding that tackle and linking on the inside. Good side step from Wilkinson, but he managed to get away. It was a dummy kick. Dean Bell flying in on Patrick Howley. Good tackle from the Wigan player. That was the last tackle as well, so it's a handover. Goulding in possession. Dean Bell with the long pass. Hanley on a run. Ellery Hanley. And trying to get to his feet. Too many Dewsbury players on top. Dennis Betts taking that ball, but good work from the play the ball by second row forward Glenn Coughlin. Platt linking, or trying to link inside. Can't quite get that pass away though. Goulding pushing away, lovely little side step, but again the ball's gone down, and it's Dewsbury in possession. So lovely break from Bobby Goulding, but again lost possession. Well, Kevin Iro, who's gone over into the centre on that far side. Dean Bell has come onto this right wing. A change in play. And Dewsbury looking quite dangerous at times now, but still inside their own half. There's the run around between the half backs. Wilkinson linking wide. but nowhere to go. Too many red jerseys. Good tackle from Andy Platt. With less than 10 minutes to go in this first half, it would be interesting if Wigan would just go in with a 2-0 lead. So from the handover from that kick through, it's Wigan in possession on that left hand side. Dennis Betts just inside the half. Goodway almost finding the gap. They've closed up so tightly on this loose forward. Quick play the ball there. Dermot takes it away. Linking with Betts. The big second row forward powering through, but he's lost possession. David Marshall, Kevin Iro picks it up, but it had gone forward. So once more, a promising Wigan move has broken down with that ball being lost at a vital stage. Dewsbury feed the scrum, and Shuttleworth links wide, but no way forward for Dewsbury inside their own 22. But if they can hang on these last minutes of the first half, they'll go into the changing room at half time suitably pleased with themselves, I'm sure. Been a tremendous first half performance from a side that are 7th in the second division. Second row forward, Tim Butler trying to make progress. They really haven't had any power to break through this Wigan defence, but on occasion Cox has managed to offload, and Wilkinson, that's one of the few occasions he's been put under real pressure. Andy Platt and Ian Gill are moving up quickly on the kicker. Shuttleworth steps in. Shuttleworth under pressure from Dermot as Jedburn comes from the back. Now can he make something of it as he links with Edwards? That was a poor pass. Jedburn not quite sure, I think, where Edwards was going, but still Wigan possession. David Marshall takes it forward. Ellery Hanley wanting to get into the act. He's coming onto the ball on this left hand side. In fact, it's Betts who takes it, but Dennis Betts can't get away. He does eventually to Ian Lucas. Wigan keeping the ball alive. Dermot sidesteps inside. Butler makes a fine tackle. Hooker gets to his feet, plays the ball. Goulding links with Edwards. Wide ball to Kevin Iro. Iro steps inside. The big man going forward. Offloads, but the ball's gone down. And certainly the Wigan supporters are a bit frustrated at Wigan's play this half. Quite excited about the build-up, but it's the finish which is lacking. The substitute, the big man, Dennis Trembath, driving forward. Big, powerful lad. And there, the number 10, Gary Cox, who's delivered one or two very useful balls in the tackle. Chris Wilkinson this time, straight to Jedburn, hung in the wind. Burn straightens up, but he's lost possession. So really, the errors have gradually got more and more in this half, and that's very frustrating for this Wigan team and their supporters. Certainly on error rate, it's been Dewsbury who've made far less in the first division side. Oh, that was an error, and Andy Platt accepts that gleefully. That was a bit of a mistake from Dewsbury's part. As the half-backs link once more, and again Kevin Iro tries to get past Nathan Graham, but the cover's good as ever. Betts takes it up, beats the brick wall, but pumps those legs through, keeps them going. Good strong run from Dennis Betts. 5 minutes left for play in this first half. Dermot drifts across, Gildar hits it up, but Cox had moved up very quickly. Good defence on number 10. Dermot sees the gap, looks for Platt, finds him, but no supporting player. David Marshall too wide out. Andy Platt took it in himself. The move breaks down. Now the wide ball. Edwards linking with Byrne. Byrne breaks through the tackle, still keeps going, but Patrick Howley eventually brings him down. So Wigan now trying to stretch this side as Edwards again pumps it up. Great take from Nathan Graham. The centre got back well there and runs away. Good strong run from him. Well, the few Dewsbury supporters that have come across here today really appreciating that effort. And it's the Wigan fans on that far side who are trying to motivate their side. A lot of noise coming, a lot of support for the Cherry and Whites as Dewsbury make a mistake. And Shuttleworth, normally a very safe handler, just couldn't quite get hold of that ball. David Campbell indicates the scrum. Bobby Goulding looks for terms of reference from Sean Edwards. The ball is fed. Good control. Goulding links with Edwards. Burst in from Byrne from the back, but Dewsbury once again covering all the holes, all the gaps in the defence. Arrow, dummy, going on his own. So, can Wigan in his last 3 minutes work a move? It's a set move with Betts, and Betts has bounced off the hooker. Dewsbury recover, but it's 10 metres from the Dewsbury line. Surely a chance for Wigan now. Gildart drives it in. 8 metres short. Martin Dermott waiting at acting halfback. Goulding's one out. The set move as Edwards runs around and does the dummy and links with Dean Bell, but that's gone to ground. Dean Bell looking rather wistfully at that lack of possession there. The ball was hanging in the air. It went over and eventually into touch. So a let off once more for Dewsbury as Willie Johnson gets hurled to the ground by Bobby Goulding. Well, we've seen very little of Ellery Hanley this game, playing out in the centre. He's had little possession, been well marked, and certainly Wigan very frustrated by this Dewsbury side. Gary Cox linking almost again with that turn in the tackle. The ball went to ground that time, but it went backwards. And the referee has spotted an infringement at the play the ball. Two players not in line behind one another, so that's the penalty. And a penalty to Dewsbury. Certainly David Campbell had very little to do in terms of decision making in this game. It's been a very clean game. It's certainly been dour and hard work for both sides, but no nastiness. Good advert for the game in terms of professionalism and sportsmanship. As Dewsbury drive it out, Cox runs straight into Ian Lucas and Andy Platt. Big number 10 takes it as Johnson changes direction, and the substitute takes the ball. It takes Martin Dermott's tackle as well. Andy Platt covering from the back, working hard from the play the ball situation. Tim Butler feeling the effects of the second rows opposite to him there, tackling. Shuttleworth linking, and a great burst. Beautiful piece of play from Glenn Clopton, the second row forward. The hooker linking with the scrum half. That's Neil Kelly and Willie Johnson. But Dewsbury a little bit confident. It's the first time they've been in this position for a long, long time. Wilkinson puts the kick up, but that's going to blow back, and Owens is going to go to where he kicked it from. Hanley picks it up. Ellery Hanley drives forward in the last minute of play. Good way, trying to burst through, pushes off one, pushes off another. Good distribution to Iro. Iro to Marshall. Are we going to get a try before half time? Marshall comes down, looks as if he's been injured in that tackle. The chance gone once again as the rain comes down here at Central Park. We're into injury time in the first half. Dewsbury have covered once again and blotted out that Wigan attack. Shuttleworth linking, dummy, and then passing wide. That's a beautiful inside ball as Patrick Howley goes forward and kicks ahead. It's a chase back. We've got Dean Bell rushing through. Edwards gets there first, and Edwards it is who kicks it dead. So a fine piece of play from Patrick Howley as he pushed that ball through. Beautiful inside ball. With Richard Elsey, the winger, following up as well. It was Dewsbury in pursuit, but it was Wigan and Sean Edwards who got back just in time to kick that ball dead. Jed Byrne to kick off from under the posts. Well, that's not gone too far. The wind has taken it further. Willie Johnson picks it up. Runs into Dennis Betts. The half-time hooter goes. Wigan are in the lead. The crowd not too happy about it. It's only by 2 points, and certainly it's been a disappointing first half for the Wigan team. Let's hope the second half will produce the fireworks and the tries that we know they're capable of scoring. Joe Lydon on the field as a substitute in the second half, along with Andy Gregory. Jed Byrne and Bobby Goulding on the side. And certainly in this second half they're going to need the power of Lydon's boot to push away from the danger area into that very strong wind. Substitute Dennis Trembath makes the drive, and of course Andy Gregory had that suspected groin strain. He's put a lot of pressure on the fullback and the kicker, along with Martin Dermott, but Darren Cohen just about gets out of it. Gregory makes his first tackle, and Dewsbury under pressure. That's a knock on. Edwards went through. He was tackled off the ball as Dewsbury picked it up behind the line, but David Campbell says play on. And Dewsbury in possession just 2 or 3 metres short of their own line. Certainly as that ball was lost by Wilkinson, it was very quickly seized on by Edwards as he kicked it through. Kevin Arrow back on the left wing after having a spell in the centre in that first half. Wilkinson with the kick downfield. And the first touch in his hands for Joe Lydon. Sidestepping past an inside ball to Dean Bell. Dean Bell can't quite get on the outside there, and that was almost a pull into the crowd by Richard Elsey. Delroy Hanley takes that ball up, struggling to get to his feet. Martin Dermott and acting halfback. Gregory with the dummy and the breakthrough and the link with Edwards, but it's gone to the ground once more. Well, I'm sure that coach John Money would have wanted his side to have secured more possession in that first half. As Ian Lucas makes the tackle. It's the kick downfield, and this time it's from Paul Shuttleworth, the number 6. Maurice Bamford's tactics, I'm sure, will be for his side to push that ball deep downfield, use this very strong wind. As Lydon gets to his feet, Dean Bell drifts across, sidesteps off the left foot. Good tackle from Gary Cox. Andy Platt takes the drive, but again, one thing that's been prevalent throughout this game, and that's the determined tackling. Dermott links superbly with Gregory. A chance for Andy Gregory. Edwards is there. The ball's gone forward once more, and Dewsbury finish up in possession. It's gone forward, says David Campbell. Sean Edwards looking at the referee and gets the decision, but it was knocked forward first of all by Wigan. So the second half starting as the first half finished, with mistakes being made at the last moment after good support play and good build-up by Wigan. The halfbacks linking, trying to get a drive, 2 out from the second row forwards. And again Shuttleworth pumping downfield, that's stretching Joe Lydon back in his own 22. So Wigan are having to go back 50-60 yards each time. Lydon tries to get round one, but that's a good tackle. Dean Bell back in support. Good tackle from the hooker Neil Kelly. Kevin Arrow's got a lot to do and can't do it. He loses his boot but still keeps the ball. Lucas takes it flat close to the play, the ball drives past the first tackler. Certainly more of a bite is needed in this Wigan attack. Edwards almost finding the gap. Good tackle from Tim Butler. Platt driving off and linking beautifully with Dermot. Good play to Goodway. Hanley almost getting the ball. Goodway gets to his feet. Dean Bell drives away and kicks through. It's on the last tackle. That's a test. Bell follows his own kick up, makes the tackle. So a bit of spirited play there from Wigan as they go from inside their own 22 to inside the Dewsbury 22. And that's the sort of bite, I think, which is needed, pushing Dewsbury back, stronger in defence. That's good offloading once again. Shuttleworth linking. The ball's been lost. And certainly Willie Johnson seemed to be in an offside position then, but perhaps it came off a Wigan player. But it's going to be a scrum with Wigan feed. David Campbell talking to the front rows once more. The feed from Gregory comes out at the side. The change of direction. Edwards on that side. There's a gap there. A chance for Dean Bell. Is Dean Bell going over? He is indeed. The try has been scored. The try has been frustrating this Wigan side for so long. In the end, it was a simple affair. It was Edwards switching from left to right. There was a massive gap on that blind side. Beautiful timing of the ball as Richard Elsey was committed to Edwards, and Dean Bell powers over in the corner for Wigan's first try of the game. Chris Wilkinson, the loose forward, who's worked so hard for his team in that first half with some excellent kicking into the wind, kicks off once more. Gildart again, as ever, driving the ball out towards the 22. Andrew Goodway drifting across the field, trying to straighten up, trying to pump through tackles, keeps the legs driving. Andy Platt drives again and again gets up very quickly to play the ball. The chance as Gregory's in the line. Iro bursts onto it straight. That's a great catch from Dean Bell on that awkward ball from Kevin Iro. Too much interference at the play of the ball, David Campbell says. Not allowing Dean Bell to play the ball. Hanging on to Dean Bell's shirt. So a penalty to Wigan. David Campbell, the referee, having a fine game this afternoon. Decisions very clear. Although, to be fair, it's been a very easy game in which to referee. Good attitude by the players as Lucas takes that first drive, driving over the 22. The supporters getting a little bit more heart now from this Wigan play. Dean Bell takes the second drive, so perhaps an indication of his willingness to work. The centre taking the second drive. The set move as Gildart links. Well, that's been knocked down by Paul Shuttleworth. As Gregory tried to link wide, the overlap was on this left-hand side. Wigan had overloaded the left, but Shuttleworth had moved up very quickly. Well, Wigan scored from the last scrum with that simple move to the blind side. Edwards is on the open side. Now there's another set move. This time it's Goodway taking it off the scrum half. Hanley, but Hanley taken in the tackle there. Not quite able to straighten up and burst through the gap. Gildart takes it up. Ooh, what a powerful run from the under-21 international forward there. Certainly Ian Gildart at 6'4", 16 stone is a big handful for Dewsbury. Great take. Handler's in the act again. There's an overlap on this side. Kevin Iro dummies and dives and scores. Wigan's second try for Kevin Iro. Dewsbury been stretched on that right hand side, and then quick play after Ian Gildart had been tackled, and the overlap was on this left. Kevin Iro, powerful, strong centre, bursts over to score Wigan's second try of the game. Joe Lydon just inside from the touchline, kicks it well, kicks it superbly. What a marvellous kick from Joe Lydon into the wind. 12-0 in Wigan's favour. So substitute Howard Bailey comes on to the field for Dewsbury. Maurice Bamford obviously wanting to do something about the flow of Wigan tries. What a great take from Andy Gregory. We've seen two superb pieces of play in the last 30 seconds. The Leiden kick into what is almost a gale, and then that great take from Andy Gregory. And certainly Andy Gregory not showing any ill effects from that groin strain. Martin Dermott there just looking. He certainly got knocked by Paul Shuttleworth as he went past him. Paul Shuttleworth pleading innocence, I think. Martin Dermott doesn't seem to be too worse for wear, but while the referee's having a word with Paul Shuttleworth, we've got Steve Hampson back with us. Steve, a much better start from Wigan in the second half.
Yes, obviously John Money's had a few words with the lads, and they've come out with a bit more determination, and the moves are actually coming off. And well, obviously you can tell with the couple of tries that they've got.
There certainly seems to be a lot more urgency in the play, and that's shown by Andy Pat as he bursts through. There's urgency in defence and urgency in attack. See?
Yeah, Andy Pat's been playing well all game. He's just made a belting break there. And there we go, we might have another try here.
Well, certainly the half-back's linking. Edwards decides to change direction. Dean Bell in the act. Pushes off hooker Neil Kelly inside the Dewsbury 22. Gregory linking wide. What a great ball to Hanley. Arrow on his own on that wing, steps out of the tackle, keeps going. Lots of Dewsbury cover. This is the last tackle as Arrow plays the ball. Gregory looking for the little chip through. There's Dennis Betts pouncing on that ball. Could that be back to one? I think that's been knocked forward. The referee David Campbell agrees with that decision, so it's going to be a scrum down and a Dewsbury feed. Well, Steve, yes, certainly a great deal of urgency. I mean, what the things that have happened this second half is that we're going to have actually stretched Dewsbury left and then right.
Yeah, Dewsbury were playing very well the first half. I think they're tiring a bit now. Obviously Wigan's fitness will tell, and they'll probably score a few more before the end of the game.
Well, another replacement coming onto the field for Dewsbury. Number 8, Mark Burgess, who came off after 20 minutes of that first half. So Dewsbury back to full strength. Gregory wins the ball at the scrum. But Dean Bell has to take the Dewsbury cover and the tackle, but it's Wigan in possession. They may well score again, as Steve says, as long as they can keep possession. In the first half they had several promising attacks, but they were just let down at the last moment. And there's a mistake, but it's play on, I think. There's an advantage on this side. There's the ball. Leiden dummies. Leiden's going, but he's held just short of the line. Well, Joe Leiden trying to play the ball quickly. Dewsbury interfering. The dive pass from Martin Dermott. Again, Hanley trying to get in the act. He does this time. He gets it to Edwards. Edwards flings it out. The ball's gone on the floor, but it's been picked up by Dean Bell. Ian Lucas is there, and Ian Lucas has scored. Basketball from Wigan. Lucas, the try scorer in the corner. It all came from that dive pass from Martin Dermott. The ball was kept alive. Hanley got it out to Edwards, and Edwards with that flick pass, he went down to the floor. And then Lucas, with that fine burst, his strength took him over in that right-hand corner. Wigan leading by 16 points to 0 then, and certainly this second half very much one-way traffic. Wilkinson kicks the ball like a magnet. Gregory takes it, and Gildard in support drives it to the 22. Dennis Betts with the drive away from acting halfback. The dummy runner coming from left to right. Lucas, the try scorer, driving forward. Strong, aggressive, number 8. Gregory accelerating and bouncing off. The powerful number 40 running like a big number 8 there. Well, Bobby Goulding may be the pretender to the throne, but the king is supreme at the moment. And certainly no lack of effort on Andy Gregory's part. Edwards steps in. Hanley on the overlap. Wilkinson's going to... Can he get the loose forward? No, that's a kick ahead from Ellery Hanley, good way up, but Dewsbury secured possession. So the cross kick, which is a sort of traditional rugby union kick. There's Bloor trying to get round Lydon. Joe Lydon brings off a good tackle. The first real show of pace from Andy Bloor. Shuttleworth sidestepping left foot onto the right hand side. Wigan moving back in defence. Dewsbury in attack. Gary Cox looking to offload. That's gone forward. No, says the referee. Lydon again having to tackle. Dewsbury got an overlap on that right hand side. Hanley covers well. Dean Bell comes in. But a bit of spark of play here from Dewsbury as they keep the ball alive. The half-back's linking. Shuttleworth flings out a 20-yard spin pass. Great play to Nathan Graham. Goodway as quick as most centres, and certainly Nathan Graham wasn't getting outside Andy Goodway. So the ball is moved and well taken again by Andy Gregory. He's determined to play for his place, and hopefully that groin strain seems to have had no ill effects on the Great Britain number 7. Martin Dermott offloading. Gregory linking with Hanley. Hanley sidestepping, coming off that left foot, and with that powerful handoff. There he goes again. That's certainly his favourite side. He's flung it in. He's in touch though. In desperation, I think he was looking for that ball, but that's going to be a scrum down. Ball well won then by Dewsbury. Shuttleworth with the set move, running across and linking his side with Nathan Graham. Slight hint of obstruction there, but Graham was going across field, so easy meat for the defence. Good strong tackle from Dennis Betts. Sean Edwards comes in as well. The halfback's linking again with a little run around, and Cox runs into Goodway. A collision. A powerful tackle from Goodway though, and Cox stopped in his tracks. Shuttleworth linking, and that was a tackle. There's an overlap on that side. Gregory trying to find the gap. Steps inside Howard Bailey, running well. Beautiful distribution to Bell. Bell steps inside to Edwards. Edwards got a run in. Drive to the corner. Has he taken the flag? The try has been awarded to Sean Edwards. Wigan go over for their 4th try through Sean Edwards. It was that beautiful run downfield by Dean Bell, and then linking with Sean Edwards on that right hand side after that fine break by Andy Gregory. Edwards had it all to do, but managed to get that ball down in the corner before the corner flag was taken over. Bobby Goulding warming up. It looks as if Martin Dermott's going to come off the field. Martin Dermott replaces by Bobby Goulding, and Goulding probably going to step in as hooker. He's played there before this season for Wigan's first team very successfully, as Chris Wilkinson restarts once again, getting a little bit fed up of kicking off in this second half. Andy Gregory at acting halfback, Dennis Betts with the drive. So the combination of Bobby Goulding, Andy Gregory and Sean Edwards will be that organisation power close to the play the ball as Andy Goodway keeps driving away, has a few words with the tacklers, then gets on with playing the ball. Betts on the burst, sidestepping inside and getting away from the tackle almost. Mark Burgess just hanging on. Lydon in possession for the kick, and that's the first kick that Joe Lyons really had to do, because although Dewsbury put some pressure on Wigan, they've been able to run it out and make the breaks this half. They've not had to kick from inside their own 22 once so far, and that we thought would have happened if Dewsbury could have maintained that defensive formation, but it's not quite the case. Dewsbury inside their 22, perhaps lacking a little bit now in firepower. They perhaps put a lot into that first half, a lot of chasing, a lot of hard work in defence. Lydon plays it with the chest. He went backwards anyway, picks it up, drifts across field, swerving, sidestepping right and left. But that Dewsbury defensive line moving up very well, just inside the Dewsbury half. Jed Byrne playing out on the left wing for David Marshall. Goodway linking well with Betts. Betts the dummy. Hanley was covered, so Betts hung on to it himself. Switching play, but there's not a lot of room on that short side, and Dewsbury filled it well. Gregory takes the ball and pushes off one man. It's a long ball over to Andy Goodway, and Andy Goodway's motoring down this side. That's a great burst from the loose forward. He's stretched the Dewsbury defence on the right now. Lucas hits it towards the middle. Now the controllers will come in. Goulding to Edwards. In fact, it's Gregory, and Gregory kicks through, but not a lot of chasers there. An easy meet for Richard Elsey, the left wing. So a good build-up, but Wigan now with that 20-point margin, that 20-point cushion, perhaps relaxing their efforts once more. Certainly a burst of scoring has put them way out of reach, I think, as far as this tie is concerned. Just 16 minutes left for play. Fine run from Dennis Trembath, the substitute, but it's Wigan in possession. Edwards linking well with Platt, and that ball's gone down. An uncharacteristic mistake from Andy Platt, as he lost that ball trying to keep it alive. And with me, Mark Preston. Was for Mark, that burst of scoring seems to put it beyond Dewsbury's reach now. Yeah, they've come out for the second half really fired up, and everybody's running and coming onto the ball line deep, and they're making the breaks, and 20 points up now, and hopefully they can keep it going. What about the feeling, do you think, on the field, the sort of psychological fact now that they've got 20 points up, and all right, we're playing against Dewsbury, we're probably there into the third round. I mean, how are the players going to react from now? Well, hopefully they won't be relaxed about it, and they'll just keep playing as they have done. I can't see them losing or anything like that, but the only thing they could do is just become relaxed and maybe let Dewsbury in for a couple of tries, but I don't think that'll happen. Well, Dewsbury worked very hard in that first half. Do you think perhaps that the defensive stint that they put was taken too much out of them? I think, yeah, they are looking a bit tired now, and as you said, they did tackle very well in the first half, and in the second half the breaks are just appearing. Well, there's one man making the break, that's Dennis Betts, the second row forward, bursting through, and Wigan again haven't had to kick out of defence in their 22. They've been able to run out and make lots of ground. So perhaps Dewsbury just a shade short in the fitness stakes at the moment. Well, an overlap on that side as second row forward Glenn Coughlin took that ball, but can't get it out to take advantage of it. Shuttleworth now looking and running and linking well with Gary Cox. That's a great ball to the number 10. He's had a good match, offloaded several times and full of running even now. Wilkinson, the loose forward with the kick. That's a testing one for Lydon. There's cover back from Wigan, but Lydon has kicked it over the dead ball line, and he's pushed by Wilkinson. Bell fires in. There really was no need for any of that at all, but certainly as Lydon had pushed the ball over, it was Chris Wilkinson, the loose forward, who came up. A little bit of shoving. Dean Bell decides to come in. The toucher's having a go at Andy Platt or Andy Goodway. And Joe Lydon is coming off the field along with, I'm not quite so sure, Dean Bell is going off the field as well for use of the elbow. So that's two people off the field. Andy Gregory, I think, asking whether in fact the loose forward will go as well, but at the moment he's lying prostrate behind the dead ball line. Dean Bell sadly walking off the field, but that certainly was a reaction to what happened to Joe Lydon as a result of Chris Wilkinson, the loose forward, coming in rather unnecessarily after the ball had gone dead. And there is the card for the loose forward, so he's also been taken off. The trainer having a word with the referee. I don't know whether Wilkinson in fact is capable of getting off the field or not. Whether that is an Oscar winning award or in fact it's genuine, we will never know. But he's been led off the field. So the game will continue now with Wigan having 11 players and Dewsbury 12. Jed Byrne with the kick into the wind. A chance for Dewsbury now to perhaps exploit this, and also a chance for Wigan to perhaps stir themselves up again. Again, unnecessary behaviour from Andy Bloor, the right wing, who flew in. No need for it whatsoever. And from being a very simple game in which to administer the rules, David Campbell, the referee, is now finding he's having to use all his expertise and knowledge in order to control matters. Rather a sad affair. Well, Goulding's been spoken to, but in fact it looks as if it may well be a speaking to by the referee. But certainly a very clear incident took place. Andy Bloor, the right wing, flew in for no reason whatsoever. And now Ellery Hanley being spoken to by the referee as well. So the words have been exchanged. Goulding is there. He's asking both sides to calm themselves down. The penalty goes to Dewsbury. And David Campbell certainly got a game on his hands now. Darren Cohen finds the touch. Dewsbury in possession. We're still 12 men to Dewsbury, 11 to Wigan. The set move. Good tackle from Goulding. That certainly fired things up and got the crowd on their toes. The big, loose number 15, Dennis Trembath, getting the ball away in the tackle. The halfbacks linking wide. And still offloading. Dewsbury keeping the play. There's a chance for the substitute. Good tackle from Jed Byrne. Howard Bailey almost getting over that line. The nearest Dewsbury have been all this game to scoring any point. Shuttleworth, a wide ball out on that left hand side. But again, good defence from Wigan. Again, the kick up in the high in the air. Iroh's back there. He's taking it well though, but he's over his own line. He must have taken that ball in field, because certainly if he'd caught it over his own line, it would have been a tap on the 22. But David Campbell said he took it in field and then went over, so it's going to be a drop out into this very strong wind by Jed Byrne. That's a better kick, but it's still not reached the halfway line. As Andy Bloor makes a run cross field, steps out of the first tackle. Gary Cox tries the burst and tries to offload, does so to Trembath. Cox had a great game in the loose. He's offloaded on many occasions. The halfbacks again linking the run around and the run to Bailey as Bailey tries to find a gap in this rather stretched Wigan defence. Just 11 players on the field as we come to the last 9 minutes of play. Good linking as Shuttleworth sidesteps off that left foot again. Gets the ball inside. Has that gone forward? Yes, it has. Park Burgess thought that he was in with a chance of a try, but the ball had gone forward, so it's going to be a scrum. It's going to be an interesting formation as Wigan packed down with just 4 players, but still win the ball. Burns sidestepping, almost getting past Shuttleworth's tackle. Ellery Hanley takes it, accelerates away. Crowd think it was a high tackle on that side there by the second row forward, Glenn Coughlin. And really for the first time in the second half, Wigan pinned down near their own 22-metre line. Gregory trying to find the gap, pushes off one, links with Gildart. Beautiful piece of play from the number 7. Ian Gildart just can't quite burst through. Edwards and Gregory linking. Good ball to Andy Platt. Beautiful linking, but Iroh's missed the ball. It's gone down. And has the ball gone in touch? The touch judge saying that it hasn't. Certainly strong words from the touch judge there. And that's a penalty for opening his mouth, says David Campbell. A penalty to Dewsbury. A very simple game to referee all of a sudden turned rather sadly to one of the most difficult games to referee. Now the wall move as Dewsbury link and bring it back to the short side. Again Dennis Tremberth trying to make the bust, but the Wigan 11 are hanging on here. Shuttleworth moves it wide, linking again with Glenn Coughlin. But although Dewsbury have worked very hard, they've hardly made a break in this Wigan defence. Cox has offloaded, but can't that time. And again, Willie Johnson linking. This time it's Mark Burgess. Shuttleworth seeing the gap, looking for players, trying to put Bailey into it, and there's a link. Is that a try for Coughlin? It is a try for Dewsbury. It's a try for all their effort. Certainly good linking between the halfbacks, and then Bailey coming on the burst from that Shuttleworth pass, and there Coughlin in the clear. A bit of a juggle, but he managed to get hold of that ball just as he went over that line, and Dewsbury have scored their first try of the match. The left foot of Nathan Graham then will be good enough to put another 2 points on the board. Graham lines it up, quite a simple kick with the wind. That's over, 20 points to 6, Wigan lead with just 5 minutes left for play. Andy Gregory takes over the kicking duty then, with Joe Lydon off the field. And straight away that's been banged back by Paul Shuttleworth. Jed Burns scurries back to within 10 metres of his own line. Runs it out, breaks through that first tackle from Cox, but good cover from the try scorer Glenn Coughlin. Looks as if he's hurt in that tackle as well, Jed Byrne. Arrow bursting away, pushes off Bailey as if he wasn't there. Bailey recovers well. Too many men to beat. The announcement of the Man of the Match award, the Silk Cup Challenge Man of the Match, has gone to Wigan's number 10, Andy Platt, and there's the man of the match himself, Andy Platt, driving away. What a powerful game he's had. Hardly made a mistake in attack or defence. He lost the ball on one occasion I can remember. Well, there's Ellery Hanley bursting through. Edwards in support. Will Sean Edwards score? He's got the pace, he's got the legs, he's got the try. A second try for Sean Edwards. Well, we've seen little of Ellery Hanley really in open play, but that a typical burst from the Wigan captain. And who better to support than Sean Edwards? And Sean Edwards just picking those knees up, striding away, and he goes over for Wigan's 5th try of the afternoon. Goulding lines it up. He's kicked it well. He's kicked it very well into the wind. Another 2 points. Bobby Goulding once again the kicker. 26-6, Wigan in the lead. Joe Lydon then served the 10-minute sin bin. He's back on the field. We presume that means that Dean Bell was actually sent off the field, and not just a sin bin offence. Otherwise they would have both come on together. So difficult to interpret from that situation 10 minutes ago, but looks as if Dean Bell has been sent off the field and will certainly take no further part in this match. The ball was taken off. David Campbell is having a chat with Andy Gregory. It's going to be a scrum down. I don't think the crowd can quite believe it. Andy Gregory in fact has got the ball in his hand, so he's hoping that he's going to feed it in the scrum. Whether David Campbell will change that or not, I don't know, but in fact he does feed it in the scrum. The ball's come out badly once again. It's come out all right for Andy Gregory. Shuttleworth makes the tackle and tries to hang on to him. Ellery Hanley changes direction from left to right. Shuttleworth tries to get in. That's a great link to Edwards. Edwards drifting across the field. Dennis Betts out on the right wing. Pushes off Elsey. Oh, I don't think Ian Gillard wanted that one. Andy Gregory pointing now to get the team organised. There he is, an acting halfback. Swings it wide with the run around on Byrne. That's a great ball for Andy Goodway, but that's gone astray, picked up by Andy Platt. Such a dependable player, Andy Platt. Strong in defence, good hands, pacey in attack. Byrne following that kick through from Andy Gregory, but Darren Cohen just getting across in time. So Dewsbury just 5 metres short of the line. They certainly given 100% effort for their coach Maurice Bamford and their loyal band of supporters who've come across from Yorkshire today, but just not quite good enough to take the spoils today. Penalty to Dewsbury, interfering at the play of the ball once more. Shuttleworth finds touch, and it's Dewsbury just inside their own half. We're in injury time. Any extra time that the timekeepers have added on, the play has been stopped a few times. There's a change in tactic, but that's straight to Joe Lydon. Lydon in space, but secures possession, so Dewsbury giving it away there. An ambitious kick from Shuttleworth, but no avail. Iro trying to resist the tackle, but too strong as Dewsbury pile in Mark Burgess and Gary Cox. Great drive from Andy Platt once more. Well, Andy Gregory's looked really sharp since he came on the field. Good way linking with Ian Lucas. Good support play from Wigan. The side certainly very fit. Goulding decides to dummy and go on his own, and then links. Edwards juggles. Gregory finds Hanley. Hanley finds the gap but can't quite get through it. Bailey makes the tackle. There's an overlap on that side. There's Gregory looking for support. Finds it with Platt. Goulding manages to play. Dennis Betts is on the wing. Comes back inside. The powerful second row forward has scored. And Wigan are through to the next round. It was certainly good basketball play, and as that ball was flung out wide from Goulding, there was Dennis Betts on the right wing, and Betts' power and strength took him over as he came inside Richard Elsey on that right wing. Nobody was stopping the big second row forward from scoring Wigan's 6th try. Goulding lines the kick up. He's kicked that one well, but that hit the post. The final hooter goes. The Dewsbury players congratulate their Wigan counterparts. They have put a tremendous amount into this game. Andy Platt, the man of the match, shaking hands with the Dewsbury lads. He's certainly been, apart from one unsavoury incident, a very fair game of rugby league. A fair result in the end, a tremendous second half performance from Wigan, counteracting that very first half of Dewsbury effort, resulting in just 2 points at half time, but the tries at the end rather too good for Dewsbury. With me after the game, two of the people very heavily involved in the organisation of the Wigan team, Martin Dermott and Andy Gregory. First, Martin, the first half was a bit uninspiring in many respects. Things just didn't quite seem to go right for Wigan. What did you put that down to yourself, do you think?
Well, I'll credit to Dewsbury. The forwards got stuck into our forwards, and we put pressure on ourselves. We threw the ball away on 4th, 5th and 6th tackle. We should have got a lot more points than what we had on today, especially in the first half. The last pass, we just kept throwing it into touch and dropped balls. We just too many drop balls.
As far as the scrimmage is concerned, there were 1 or 2 occasions where the ball seemed to be struck by the hooker or by yourself or maybe the opposite, and then it's been kicked back again. Is that a lack of organisation or a lack of concentration, do you think?
Well, it's what happens on the day. You know, the ball comes in funny, I get my foot on the ball, and it's something we've got to sort out ourselves during training. On especially 2 occasions in their own half, we should have got the ball and just got kicked back. It's just one of those things.
Attack, as you said, perhaps just a little bit difficult at times, 1 or 2 balls dropped, but defence very strong in that first half, wasn't it?
Yeah, John Money emphasises on the defence at training. We do it very well, and we've got the best defensive record in the league at the moment, and hopefully that we can keep it up. But we do a lot from acting half, defensive wise, and they don't come down the middle. Not many teams come down the middle.
But one spark that was needed was certainly created in the second half when you came on the field, Andy. You looked buzzing, you haven't played for a while, you've been down in a London clinic. How are things physically anyway as far as you're concerned?
Oh, they're tremendous. I'm feeling good. I think a lot of credit must go. John Mooney doesn't get he doesn't go in bowling and shooting at us. But the first half, we had the elements in our favour. We had the wind and the rain. We didn't use them, and John Mooney quietly, passed that on to us. And I don't think it was, just me or Joe coming on. I think it was an all-round improved team effort, which won the game. We know we didn't play well first half. Like Martin said, the Dewsbury, they got stuck into us. But we lost a lot of ball early on, which John Mooney emphasises on going on, 3 to 6 tacklers, and we didn't do it. I don't think we did it once in the first half. Where second half, we steadied up a bit, and we got the points on the board.
Certainly scored some very good tries in that second half, and you yourself didn't look as if you were suffering from any real injury. How is the groin, Andy?
It's not too bad. I've had 2 weeks down in London, and I shoot off. Me and Joe catch the train early on Monday morning tomorrow, and we have another week's down there. It's tremendous, a lot of credit to Alan Watson, who's put me through my paces down there. Everybody thinks me and Joe in London will be living it up, but it certainly is hard work. As Ellie will vouch for it. Alan Watson and Martin are certainly putting us through it, and we're not down there for an holiday. We want to get right. We want to have we're top of the league. We want to carry on and win the championship. We're looking forward to next, hopefully getting a full game in next week against Salford, and we want a good cup run as well. Nobody's gone to Wembley 3 times, but it'd be nice to do it. But we just want to get down to London, get ourselves sorted, and get 100%, and just play the full 80 minutes for Wigan.
And with me is Maurice Bamford, the Dewsbury coach. Maurice, you must have been highly delighted with the overall performance, but particularly the first half.
I was indeed, Alan. Yes, we didn't come with any game plan. We just came to tackle, and as I said before during last week's build, to play from the heart. And I think we did that for 80 minutes. The unfortunate thing for us was a shrewd change at half time, I think, by John Mooney when he brought on arguably the best half back in rugby league football, Andy Gregory. And from being banging the game at 2-0 at half time, I think the inclusion in the second half of Andy just absolutely put the icing on the cake for Wigan. He tore us to pieces from the first moment he touched the ball.
There certainly was a purple patch for Wigan just after half time. You must have thought, with the strong wind behind you perhaps, and some really good kicking, because Shuttleworth and Wilkinson both kicked very well, you might have been with a chance of penning Wigan back inside their own 22.
Well, that was a second half plan. We're coming in at 2-0 down, and we're having almost a gale strength wind against us in the first half. But according to the lads in Ireland, the wind dropped considerably in the second half, so that stymied our kicking game a little bit. And also Chris Wilkinson was well spotted after his first half kicking skills, so the onus of the kicking we dropped it to Paul Shuttleworth. We used Chris Wilkinson as a decoy and sent the ball to Shuttleworth, who has a big kick on him too. But as I say, the introduction of Andy, I thought, was the whole difference. All the rest of the Wigan team started running off him, whereas in the first half, well, we were still fresh. They weren't doing that.
And of course, that's the end of the run, if you like, for the Silk Challenge Cup, but you've got a lot to play for in the second division.
We have indeed. Just a final word on the Challenge Cup. I think we went out with a lot of pride. Certainly we'll have gone out a lot better off financially. And the other thing, of course, is that playing against Wigan, my younger players will have had superb experience, and that's what I wanted for them from this tie. In the second division, we've got a top 8 spot to play forward. Just at present, we're in 6th place. We've 11 matches to play. A considerable amount of those at home. So, without counting our chickens, Alan, we look fairly well placed. I hope so. If we do the top 8 and having a good game against Wigan this season in the Challenge Cup, having beaten Wakefield Trinity out of the first division in the County Cup and drawing at St Helens in the Regal Trophy, I think we've had a good season. So
Wigan in the hat for the third round of the Silk Challenge Cup with that eventual emphatic victory over Dewsbury. And the next game is the match against Salford. That's next weekend. So from Wigan, goodbye.